Hi there, Intune friends. In the previous video, we enrolled an iPhone into Intune. Now let's look if we can add some apps to this one. And in the previous video, we didn't see the OS version or the total storage. It showed up 1 minute after, so it just needed some time to gather that information and push back. So we are in intune.microsoft.com. We go under apps. If we look, well, all apps, we get all apps, and we have done a lot of apps in our videos for Android, for Mac OS, Windows. We just want for iOS and iPad OS, and there it's pretty empty. So we click add as normal. We have a few types here. We're going to do all in the iOS store app. So we select there. Then we search the App Store. Why not take Outlook? That's a good app. See if it comes more. Microsoft Outlook, perfect. We select there. We're going to get everything for free, so to speak. We could change the name here if we wanted and description. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to change the minimum OS to iOS to, let's say, 12, which is still very old. Category, let's call this productivity. And we don't put this in company portal. I don't put any note. Well, I should put note. I'll put John Brents and today's date, 11th March 2024. No real value. If another technician come in and see who have done this, maybe it's interesting. We're gonna add this. Well, we should have created a group for this. So let's create the group. For now, I add it to all devices. I mean, it's not gonna try to install this on the Windows device anyway, so not really needed. But I thought we could create a group just for all our iOS or iPhones even. We could have iPads. We could different on that. So if we do groups here, let it load. Let's create a new group. So we have one group already for all our Android, for Mac. So let's call this GBN, all iPhone devices. And description would probably be GBN's iPhones. No intro roles, but we do want it to be dynamic device, meaning that we don't have to manually add. It will do a query for us, and we're going to do that query. Owner, always good to have an owner. I'm going to add myself. I got a few more people at my company here, but I'm going to add myself as the owner. So dynamic query. So we have the owner. So now let's click on add dynamic query. So we have to choose a property here. So we can choose device manufacturer should probably work also. Device OS type. Let's take this one. And then say that that is equals. And I happen to know that the correct one is iPhone. Let's say I didn't know that and I thought maybe it's Apple. Doesn't matter, that's fine. We can test that here in the validate rules. Still on the preview. Oh, this one is pretty nice. So we can add the devices we want to test this query against. So it looks like I have 2 iPhones here. In reality, I have only one. And then we can take a Windows machine. And let's click select. So we want the 2 iPhones to check in, but they don't. So we can view the details. What would it actually try? It actually says it's not Apple. It finds it as iPhone. Okay, so that's how you could figure out that it's iPhone. Now I happen to know that it was iPhone. So if I now change it to iPhone and then go back to validate rules, you now see that those who actually are iPhones check in. Perfect. Then we know our query is valid. So we can save this one and create. So now we have a group for all our iPhones in the company. And it can take a little while until that actually kicks in. The group shows up, but it's not. You don't immediately see the members. See, no, it takes a little while. So we let that one bake a bit. And we continue to do one more app. So we go back to apps, we go back to iOS, and we have this one, Microsoft Outlook. Let's change this one. Oh, not delete, we click on it. Let's go properties here, scroll to the bottom. Let's change this to not all devices, which works totally fine. You can keep that. I just think it looks nicer if you only target those who actually are iPhones. But that's not a problem to target everyone. So right now this one is empty, but that's going to change. So I was at the delete. It's very far around here. Delete. Okay. And we put install as removable so people can remove it. It's personal devices after all. So now we target only our iPhones. Okay, good. That's done. Now let's add 2 more apps. So we can add something in the company portal. So let's do iOS Store. And let's do maybe X, the Twitter app. Doesn't seem to like that. What about if we put Twitter? Or it needs more time to search. There it is. Let's take X. Select. Same here. I go a bit faster. I keep everything. Same here. No, let's this one available. So it has to be for users, so we can't add our device group. So let's add all users. So all users can install it from the company portal if they are on an iPhone. Or an iPad will work also in this case. Okay, let's do one more app. We can do, let's see, refresh here so X comes up. You should have company portal if you use corporate enrollment. Oh, why did I click there? Select. We have already manually installed ours, but if you enroll corporate from Apple Business Manager, then you will want to have a company portal also. Company portal. This one, Intune company portal. Our device already have it. We can keep the default here again to win some time. Here we can add our group. And it has something with iPhone in it. Yep. And select. And good to go. So now we have created a few apps, very easy. Just select what you want. Out of the box, it's pretty good. So they are assigned. X, the old Twitter, is in the company portal. So let's go to our iPhone and see how this looks like on the user side. Okay, here we have our enrolled iPhone. So I'm going to go to the company portal. Just open company portal. Then we go to devices. We are already selecting our device. Let's check status because we're going to check in. Here it comes to install. Yes, please. Oh, we'll become managed. That's what we want. Okay. So if we look, it's installing Outlook. Okay, Outlook got installed. Company portal is already have. Let's go out of company portal. Let's open it again. Sign in. So here, we could have went here directly from apps also. So we were here basically. And if you go to apps here, you see we can install that from company portal. I don't see which difference that makes to go to the other app, but at least that's one way to publish which apps you want users to use. You could block all the others, not on a personal device. Okay, it's installing. Okay, there it got installed. So we managed to push Outlook through a required and Twitter X from company portal. And we already had the company portal here. I just added that for if you bring in corporate devices. Okay, so let's see if they have updated. It can take a little time. Yep, Outlook shows installed, device installed status. This is my device, the OS status is installed. Let's see if it captured up on X as well. Yes, installed. And the Intune company portal that was already installed, but it probably takes that as installed also. Okay, excellent. That's how you can distribute applications on your iPhones or iPads or iOS device. Okay, so that went well with these three apps. There are more things you can do under the apps, but we're going to leave that. You have app protection setting policies. That means that you can block what some certain apps can do, such as copies and data. I'm not going to create one. I just show quickly the options. So I'm just going to call this GBN because I'm not going to save it. So you can select which apps. You have all apps or you have all Microsoft apps or core. Let's take all apps. Target to all apps just to see quickly what you have here. I never use this myself though. So you can block it so the apps can't send any data to iTunes or iCloud, which is more modern. Um, and you can also have to block for certain things here. As you see, I have no idea, but I know there's a lot of things that you can block to save data. So if you have sensitive data and you want the apps not to modify it, you can require it to have encryption. Yeah, a lot of things, pretty advanced. Access requirement that the phone needs to have a pin and stuff like that. So could be something for you. I never used it. It's probably good if you want to have high security. Then you have app configuration policies. I would say it's even more advanced. I'm not going to go through that either. But if we take a manage devices, which is not my case, you have settings, but you have to have it as an XML file. So iOS, you have this for Android also. You can target an app, and it's only those that we have that we manage. We take Outlook for example, but I'm not going to be able to continue so much more here because here, for example, you need to have the format. Let's say we use XML data, then you have to have created this. It's a property list. So you can read more about this. So this video definitely don't explain anything about that, just telling you that it exists. So if we go back to app, we could do quiet time. That works on, I think, Android as well. So quiet time, it's sort of where users don't have to get the notifications. So if we create the policy, this one we can do and finish. Oh, it's for Android and iOS. So policy type, we can have a date range or day of the week. Let's do something day of the week. Let's say we have it, we can call it GBN Quiet Tuesday. So no notifications on Tuesday, just rest. Ah, like it. Next. So not all day. Mute notifications all day. No. Certain hour. Yes. So we can do a day of the week. Well, we said Quiet Tuesday, right? So it's going to mute all notification daily from 6 p.m. Strange. It's outside work, of course. 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Yeah. Well, let's extend that to 8 a.m. It's just Tuesday. Allow user to change this setting. Yeah, so it's gonna mute the notifications, but wonder if I have to put this one as no, not all day, just certain hours and certain days. No, I think we're good here. Don't use scope tags. Assign to group. Doesn't have all devices. So we're going to take our all iPhones. So on those two devices on Tuesdays, it's going to mute the notification. But again, the users can change it. We don't force it. Maybe not that useful, but if you think about the health of your employees, that could be something nice. So people don't feel that they have to have notification for work after business hours. So let's wrap up this. So we will not come back to the app tab. We have covered lightly some really advanced features, but at least we have done 3 apps and successfully deployed them. Great. In the next video, we're going to look at the compliance policy. See you there. Thank you very much.